Today, unfortunately, Team Liquid's run at Masters Bangkok came to an end. And it came to an end at the hands of G2. And what I want to show you is basically what happened on both maps here, where Liquid came out with an initial game plan that perhaps caught G2 a bit off guard or they were surprised by, but then G2 were able to adapt and eventually win the game. So let's take a look at it and start off with this pistol round here on Lotus. And what you'll see from Team Liquid is there on the defensive side here is you can see quite early on that they've got this kind of setup where it's, pretty, stacked towards one half of the map. And then you've just got Nats here chilling on A over on his own. And G2, what they're gonna do is basically kind of, take their time, kind of scout this out, and eventually they're gonna figure out here that, Team Liquid are in this kind of stance and are, we're eventually gonna get some contact and we'll see the reaction. So after a bit of waiting for some aggression, they then start to come in towards C. We get a big trader util, the door opens, and G2 figure out what's going on. Now, at this point, normally you might have had your, A player in Leaf here, start to make his way up towards A. He actually hasn't at this point, but watch just what, Team Liquid's reaction is, and look at how kind of fast they start getting across over towards A. And that's the thing, right? Because Leaf wasn't already up here kind of scouting this out, they still don't really know what's going on towards A, and they've had a long way to travel, which is giving Team Liquid kind of the time to get across for by the time that, G2 is starting this exec. Essentially, we've got multiple Team Liquid players here, and this was kind of their plan, right? We are going to fast flood. We are going to hold on to like the backside area here, and then we are going to fast flood out. This time they're going to come with a flank here as well. And, this is what we're going to do, right? This is essentially the way we're going to play, which is a very popular strategy on multiple maps. I mean, it's basically been the meta on Haven for a very long time to kind of play this strategy. And Nats, as we know on the Cypher, is basically a master at that.
This flank as well for Camo. That lack of Sentinel will be a factor. He can get behind them fast. But can Liquid hold down the side? Camo getting a little baited by that one, but blinded as well. Little to be done. Paratech and Nats spinning on a dime. Liquid this time making it count. Trent a mile away and the flank is in.
So this is how Liquid were approaching their defensive side. And if I just show you, like, for instance, the start of round 4, take a look at this where we're going to get some contact between the two teams, and G2 actually managed to get the first kill. But just look here as, as soon as we get kind of a bit of delay coming in, look at the map already, right? So we're at what? 14 seconds into the round? Take a look at the map, right? All of Team Liquid are converging here on the B site. Right, just like straight away. So this was very clearly their plan, that they are just gonna, sprint to where G2 are getting to and trying to hold on to the site for just that brief window of time, and then just everyone collapse and converge on that area. And G2 were initially struggling with this. They found themselves down early on in this game, but then we started to see rounds like this, round number 7, right? Which is just an example here of, how they started to find their way through this after taking a timeout, and how they then wanted to approach the map. And if you find yourself, by the way, against a team that is really sprinting across, which, to be fair, in your kind of ranked games, maybe your premier games, you probably will find that, quite a bit. Then take a lesson from this and what G2 do, because you'll see here that what they start going for is stuff like this, right? Where they are going to use their comp to absolute maximum here. You can see that we've got a Yoru TP down here already, right? They start to come out towards C. They clear that out. We've already got Leaf and Trent here walking up. You get these three coming over towards C, and they're actually going to go in and breach ult the site, right? So we're really selling this as kind of, we are coming towards C. And then you see that they're actually, going to just chill here for a bit. They do actually then end up coming onto the C site, shooting some bullets, making some noise, all of that. But the thing is, they're then going to, once they get to, this kind of point, and, then we start to come back. We leave Jogmo here. He's now going to TP across the map. And now we're coming back towards A. And you look at the map right now, right? Again, Liquid have, kind of fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. You see that they're actually pinging out on C here, some things that maybe they wanted to do. We're now going to omen ult back towards A. And yeah, Nats has this camera over towards A, and he does see like, oh, they got us. But this is how G2 managed to solve this problem of, they end up with an uncontested site instead by selling this kind of big fake. And from here, it's going to be easy for them to close it out.
It's going to be Jonah P.
But of course.
Yeah, there's always that late lurk.
But of course. Ooh, okay, well, suddenly this round doesn't feel so kind of flat. You've got an invested ult here, but this time it runs out pretty quick, right? You got to get moving on this. If you want to get some value, you got to get going, and you're going to get nothing. And there's that flank. Whoa, that's crispy from Jonah P. Good trade right back in. Okay, look, I'm not out of this round yet. Make me a believer in something here, Liquid, because it's looking like it's going to be solid from G2. They needed a secure round. They're going to get a secure round.
Now we'll see another good example from G2 that plays out a little bit differently in round number 9. So This one as well is another round where they're going to, you know, take some space off the rip, right? Cautiously kind of approaching here. As you see, you know, we got Jorgmo coming over towards C, and we see some B aggression coming out from Team Liquid. But already we've got these two players kind of heavily walked up towards A. They've kind of figured out what's going on. You know, we're baiting out some util here on C, so we're pretending like, you know, we're taking this C space, and this is where we want to be. You see the stun is actually coming out from Team Liquid here, as Jorgmo's trying to bait out some of that util, and then he TPs. Right, so he's instantly out and he's away, and now we're on our way back towards the A site. But hey, we've been here before that we saw on the pistol round, right? The Team Liquid, they're going to be sprinting across to A once they figure this out, right? They're going to be coming over here. Well, just take a look at what G2 do, because unlike the pistol round, right, where, you know, we ended up sprinting into A and then all of Team Liquid were there and they managed to win it. Now take a look at what they do instead, right? We insert Leaf super deep, and instead of coming over towards A, we actually come back towards C. Right, so we don't kind of chase it and come into A knowing that they can beat us there. But I want you to keep an eye on this TP as well, because this is where it's super smart from G2, because at this point, they essentially don't know if Team Liquid are now going to figure this out and instantly sprint towards C as well, and also beat them there. So by putting down this TP here and leaving Leaf here, and maybe even thinking about it with Valorant as well, they're essentially playing as if they could go to either side still. Right, they're still completely open in their options, even though, you know, we've got them running down towards C. So probably what's likely to happen is, if in whatever reason, you know, Team Liquid hadn't left C, right, or if there is still people here and they hadn't actually been floating over rotate, we can come back, right? Or if we see them try and fast flood on us here on C, we can come back. And we've got Leaf already set up down here. You know, we're coming into the C site, we don't see anything. So we'll plant on C. That's fine. But if we did see, you know, a lot of contestation here over towards C, well, we should know by this point, you know, that A is getting pretty free and we can TP back. So really, really just smart play from G2. And you'll see now that, you know, with kind of multiple lurks across the map, again, they're going to manage to clean this up.
Valen behind them. Liquid are just looking lost. G2 getting a full grip on this game, barring that one shot coming in from Kamek. Cool, but the round's looking like it's G2 flavored from start to end.
Yeah, Team Liquid like, where's Leaf? Leaf's already killed Nats over on A. This guy could be coming in everywhere, and somehow he's just slipping around him like a ghost.
Yeah, this guy's just behind him the whole time. He's on a secret mission. Liquid just lost in this. Oh, that's lovely. Jaws on the site. They finally made it over here, but there's threats everywhere. Jaws just gets to dance around on the site. They're going to need a bit more than this. There's still Trent's ult. There's still util. He thought he was going to get close. That should really be the final hitter if needed. It's not.
And that's the thing with G2 and Jorgmo, is that they play so much Yoru that they can have these kind of extra layer of plans. And we all know that the like ceiling of Yoru is incredibly high, because you can do so many different crazy things potentially in a round and have multiple options available to you. And then, you know, you can pick the right one if your team is good as G2. Now we're going to see a round of a fast exec where you'll see that G2 really get the most out of a Yoru again.
Icon of the role. It almost became like this cautionary tale of what could be, but it's been a while since we've seen it so regularly. But back into the things here. 6-5. G2 still at the door, but a good adaptation from Liquid after these timeouts, but it's pacey here from G2. Trent could be in trouble. They focused on fighting towards CT, but they've left a gap here. Trent trying to stay alive. How are they doing this? There's 4 players from Liquid on the site here. Trent's still standing. I have no idea how.
Just a mess of a round. Trent now calling in his teammates to get back into the site, using a site smoke for that, and he finds the opener.
Trent's been good in all the chaos before as well. Kamek and Nats trying to navigate a 2v4 is not easy. Kamek's still got a little bit of util to play in, but it's not much. And trying to disrupt that deep post plant, brutal.
Last player.
Yeah, you can see as to why. It's rough by all accounts.
So you might not have fully recognized it there by just watching the round, but Jorgmo basically just wins them this round straight away. He just wins them the round pretty much on his own, right? Starts off obviously with him just Yoru ulting and, you know, getting that space in towards C and, you know, essentially giving them the site. Yeah, sure, you know, this part is all fine. But really what wins him the round is after he comes out of his ult, right? So he's here on the backside, just here, you know, he's throwing flashes out there. He's now out of his ult. They know he's in CT, and now he becomes a massive problem for Team Liquid, because after he TPs here, they don't know that he's TP'd away. Right, so he's TP'd here, but for whatever reason, they don't hear it. There's too much going on. You know, there's a lot probably in the comms. So they don't hear it. And just watch, right? Because you've got Nats on this rotate. He now is going to crawl down here. as he thinks that Jorgamo is just about to peek him at any moment, right? So he's not running, he's crawling around this corner. You're also going to see multiple of these players at multiple times start looking backwards, right? So just watch this. One, how slow Nats is, that it basically makes this a 5v4, but also just look at them, head on a swivel, and eventually here, this kill onto Camo, I mean, look, he's still looking this way. This kill on Camo in a second, he's going to die because he's still looking for Jor, right? Look at him here. He dies because he's looking in CT for Jorgamo. Right, so we've essentially made this a 5v4 because Nats is having to slow walk his way all the way down here for no one, right? And then it's finding us multiple kills as well. And then he gets a kill himself also. So essentially, Jorgamo got us into a 4v2 there just from living, essentially, and them not hearing a TP. Which, again, I think, obviously, we know that Yoru is just such a, a very important agent, in the meta right now. Not sure what happened with the broadcast there. But I do think that, we are entering a space and time in Valorant, at least right now, that if you have a good Yoru, you're probably going to be doing pretty well.